We go to California.
We suck again!
LA residents, have you ever wondered what type of people live in your town?
Uh-oh.
Well, have no fear, Homeland Security's here.
Hold up.
And they've got your back.
Wait a minute.
They display the worst of the worst, illegal edition.
Fuck you!
I'm Jazz Berganzo on this. From illegal crossings to robberies,
What the fuck?
to rapies, murders, and child traffickers,
Fuck off.
LA, you stay classy.
What the hell's going on out here?
And it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo. What's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salts. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Friday. Yes, Friday is here. It's been a long week, especially on the East Coast where it's been like boiling, averaging around 95 to 100 degrees. But we're supposed to get some relief over the weekend, but not much. I don't think so. Anyway, I'm not here to do the weather. We're here to go to California. Remember, take a trip on the way back. Remember those lovely kumbaya sessions? Everyone's holding hands and one for the causes and everyone's, united under one Mexican flag. Well, anyway, of course, we saw the damage and the chaos that rained down from knuckleheads, throwing shit at cops, to burning cars, to, blocking traffic, to fighting, to robbing, looting, stealing, and burning stores. And that's just on the weekend. Anyway, we're going back to Los Angeles. LA residents, have you ever wondered what type of people actually live in your town? Well, like I said in my intro, have no fear. The Department of Homeland Security is here, and they've got your back. They put on display the worst of the worst, and this is the illegal edition. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. DHS displays worst of the worst migrants arrested in LA Democrat sanctuary cities. Yes, those lovely sanctuary city policies. Yeah, they produced some of the best of the best. And here, yeah, they are. Look at that. Look at it right out of the gate. Only faces only a mother could love. The Department of Homeland Security is displaying more of the criminal migrants that ICE is carefully extracting from Democrats' protective sanctuary cities. Quote, as bad faith politicians attempt to demean and vilify our brave law enforcement, we will only double down and ramp up our enforcement actions against the worst of the worst, said in a statement from Tricia McLaughlin, the agency's Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs. Many of the foreign criminals have been living in California for more than a decade with tactic and direct support from city and state governments. Facts. During those years, most have likely committed additional crimes against Americans than the crimes listed by DHS on their rap sheets. Their departure will likely drop in crime rates, but much to the benefit of the American neighborhoods. Let's see. Daniel Orfel, a citizen of Cuba, he violated the immigration judge's 2004 removal order and remained in the United States for decades. He has been arrested for murder, burglary, armed robbery, battery, driving under the influence, and transporting and selling narcotics. He was also convicted of possessing crack cocaine with the intention to sell. Jesus Zamora Lopez, a citizen of Mexico, has been identified as MS-13 gang member and was convicted of assault with a deadly weapon and sentenced to 3 years in prison. He was also convicted of contributing a delinquency of a minor and petty theft. He was ordered removal by an immigration judge in 1997 and has entered the United States illegally at least 2 times since. Pedro Barrios Dominguez, I forgot to give his full name there, is a Guatemalan national, surprising, who illegally re-entered the United States, after being ordered removed by an immigration judge in 2011. The criminals come from around the world, spotlighting the federal government's quiet welcome since 1990 with a huge variety of illegals. Yes, all faces, all creeds, all colors, all shapes. They're come to the United States to cause havoc. Hung Nguyen, if I'm mispronouncing that, don't give. A citizen of Vietnam, during his time in the United States, he has been convicted of 22 crimes, including indecent exposure, dropping his pants, theft, possession of burglary tools. In 23, he was convicted of inflicting corporal injury on a spouse cohabitant, for which he was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment. How'd that work out? Vladimir Donev, Russian citizen. In 21, he was paroled in the United States by President Joe Dementia, shocking, and in 24 was convicted of conspiracy to commit computer fraud and aggravated identity theft. A conspiracy to commit wire fraud and bank fraud, for which was sentenced to a collective total of 10 years in prison. Again, how'd that work out? Most of the criminals come from Mexico, unsurprisingly. Mexico's government opposes Trump's deportation campaign. Gee, Really? No. Kristen Vaso Evesi, I'm butchering the word name, and I really don't care, is a Mexican national and legal alien with a violent criminal history, including arrests, convictions for multiple assaults with deadly weapons. Pedro Daros Castellanos is a Mexican national with a history of violent behavior and has been convicted for domestic battery for a spouse, robbery, burglary, forgery. He was arrested by DHS after illegally re-entering the United States and is in custody pending removal. Cesar Zentena Machua is a citizen of Mexico. He was convicted of attempted murder after illegally entering the United States. Many of the criminals are part of the drug industry, and has killed hundreds of thousands of Americans. This list includes foreign drug criminals who have been imported for prosecution and slated for deportation. Angel Rodriguez, a citizen of Mexico. He was paroled, of course this was in 23, paroled into the United States for prosecution. In 24, he was convicted of importation of fentanyl and was sentenced to prison for 27 months. Pedro Castellanos, Mexican national. History of violent behavior? No. And has been convicted of domestic battery, spouse, robbery, burglary, and forgery. Otto Godoy, a citizen of Guatemala. In 22, he was paroled in the United States for prosecution. He was convicted of international conspiracy to distribute cocaine and sentenced to 51 months in prison. Roberto Torres, a citizen of Mexico. He was convicted of drug trafficking and sentenced to 2 years, 5 months in prison. He was also convicted illegally in re-entering the United States after he was ordered removal in 2018. Walter Clarios, also of Mexico. He has legally entered the United States at least 3 times after being removed. He was convicted for robbery, burglary, and 2 drug possession crimes. Now, sadly, we get to the good stuff. And I mean that very, very flippantly. Many of the migrants have been convicted of sex crimes and not often crimes in their home countries. Salvador Morales, a citizen of Mexico. He unlawfully entered the United States and was convicted of attempted sexual contact with a minor. Feliciano Sanchez, Mexican, criminal legal alien. He was arrested in March in 2025 for sexual battery and touch for sexual arousal in his custody pending his removal. Jacinto Mateo, Guatemala, registered sex offender and aggravated felon. He was convicted of lewd acts with a minor in 2017 and sentenced to 3 years in prison. Cielo Urbalo, a citizen of Mexico. He was convicted of having sex with a minor, narcotics violations, and hit and run. He illegally crossed the border at least 4 different occasions. Efran Serrano, a citizen of Honduras. He was ordered removal from the United States but illegally re-entered in 23. He was convicted of attempting to molest a victim under 12. Juan is a Mexican national with a registered sex offender. Illegal alien. How are you registering a sex offender and you're illegal? I never actually really thought about that. Anyway, he was convicted of sexual penetration for a minor under the age of 16. He has been arrested by DHS and is in custody pending removal. Juventino Rodriguez is a registered sex offender and Mexican national who re-entered the United States illegally after he was removed. He was convicted having oral sex with an unconscious victim. The Democrat mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, is blaming ICE for doing the fucking job. There's more, sadly, much more, but you get the gist. This is LA in a nutshell. You know, not Hollywood, not the famous people, you know, not the Dodgers, not the 49ers, none of that. It's this. This is what LA is. This is what California is. And when you have wonderful people like incompetent morons like Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Ass, this is what you get. And sadly, this has been going on for decades. This was going on well before Newsom ever got to the scene. But Newsom has just doubled and tripled down on protecting illegals at all costs. And the LA residents who have been here, who have done their jobs, who pay taxes, who just want to live their lives in peace. Sadly, as long as you have shit like this going on in California, LA residents, never, ever going to happen. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and we'll see you next time. Peace.